Shalom, Haverim. Hi, friends. It's Miss Eve. Can you say Shalom, Eve?
Shalom.
Shalom and Shalom, Mr. John, your mysterious guest who's been with us ever since we started reading book number
4.
Arba from the Torah called Bemidbar. Before we dive in, don't forget to like this video, to share it, to subscribe to our Torahtron YouTube channel, and also to follow us on Instagram for the keywords and the arachim, the values and the mitzvot of each parasha at Torahtron, and to get your free activity guide with Miss Eve at shalomeve.com. All right, the parasha of this week is called Shlach. Some people call it also Shlach Lecha, which are the two words, Shlach Lecha, the two first words of this parasha, Shlach, to send. Why? Because the people arriving to Israel, they wanted to check out the land. They wanted to see it, to find out what it was before entering. So God says, oh, really? You want to go? You don't just trust me? Okay, Shlach Lecha. Go, send to yourself. It's because you're requesting it. So they sent 12 very important men from the tribes to spy the land. They were meraglim, they were spies. Mr. John, do you like stories about spies?
Yeah.
Yes, they look around, they check it out, dun 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 dun. And they returned, and when they returned with the report, with the news from the land for Moshe and for all the Israelites, these 12 men, they were carrying big fruits and stories, but they weren't very smechim, happy. Oh no, what they felt was pachad, fear. And guess what? They made sure that everyone knew about it. They said, yeah, sure, the land is amazing and it has amazing fruits and it's beautiful, but there are giants there. And we were like grasshoppers, and that's how they saw us. That's what actually the Torah is telling. That's how the spies saw themselves, as grasshoppers, as insects and little insignificant things that anyone can crush. And that's how they said everybody saw them, and it's too much for us, that is not good for us. So out of the 12, 10 of them said that. And what do you think? That people were happy to hear that, or were they afraid with pachad? Afraid, right, Mr. Johnny? They were with pachad. Only 2 people said something positive. They were Yoshua bin Nun and Caleb ben Yefuneh. And they said, no, stop, it's true. There are people there who are, we will have to conquer the land and it's going to take work, but this land is amazing and it's ours and it's a promise from God and we're returning it from the land of Abraham, right? From the grandfather of the grandfather of grandfather. This is our land. We can do this. We're not alone. God is with us. Have faith, have emunah. But what do you think the people believe? The 10 meraglim or the 2 other? 10. Oh no. Fear, when it crawls, it's really hard to say, fear, go away, and face the fear, right? A person who is courageous, who has courage, is not a person without fear, but it's a person who steps up and says, I'm going to do this anyway because I know it's good for me, right? So, they weren't able to see, and this is the erech, the value of this week, hakarat atov, to look for the tov, look for the good. No, they focus on what? Yeah, like the song, Mr. Johnny, thank you. Look for the good. They weren't looking for the good. They were just too afraid. And sometimes when we're afraid, it's really hard to look for the good, and they were looking for the ra, for the bad, for what's wrong, right? And so God said, what? First of all, you want to see this land for yourself and you don't trust me, and now you don't trust me and say this is not possible. I'm God. I took you out from Egypt. I did all these miracles from you. I gave you the Torah, and you say you cannot do it. I have more faith in you than you have in yourselves. So God said, because of this, you're not ready. You need to wait. And you will wait 40 years in the desert. 40, Arba'im. And maybe next generation will be ready, hopefully, to enter the land. So this is a very, very harsh story, isn't it? But it still has a very important lesson. And you know, till this day, when we pray, we have a minyan. A minyan or minyan, it's a group of 10 adults, 10 people that can pray together and do certain things that alone we cannot do. Why? Because we're doing a tikkun, we are correcting and making up for those 10 spies who didn't trust enough. And we weren't able to look for the good for that hakarat hatov. Mr. John, isn't this an interesting story?
Yeah.
Thank God we know what happened next, and that eventually the next generation, yes, they learned the lessons from their parents and they did go into the land, and we have beautiful Israel today. So, are we ready to say Neshika and Shalom, Mr. Johnny and Chaverim? Thank you so much for joining us. Neshika, and see you next time. Shalom. Thank you for watching, Chaverim. Don't forget to subscribe. And please, bevakasha, share it with your friends, your Chaverim, and with your mishpacha, your family. Toda. Thank you. Shalom. The Torahtron, open the curtain. Time to begin the show. Sing along the Torahtron. This is your story, the play